Thank you for joining us this Monday at noon. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez, filling in for Brooke Hash. After months of delay, former LMPD detective Brett Hankerson is set to be sentenced in federal court in just about an hour. Hankerson was found guilty last year for violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights during LMPD's botched raid of her apartment in 2020. Today's sentencing was postponed for months while the court waited for the Department of Justice's sentencing recommendation. Last week, the DOJ recommended no jail time for Hankerson, instead insisting he receive 3 years of supervised probation before he could have been sentenced up to life in prison. That was met with public outcry, with community members calling the recommendation a slap in the face. Hankerson was convicted last year for firing blindly into Breonna Taylor's apartment during the deadly 2020 raid. Although none of the bullets hit anyone, prosecutors argued his actions showed a reckless disregard for human life. Hankerson's first federal trial in 2023 ended in a hung jury and a mistrial. Hankerson was acquitted of his state wanton endangerment charges back in 2022. And the DOJ said it based their recommendations on Hankerson's lack of criminal record, emotional distress, and PTSD from the media coverage of his trial. Last week, Mayor Craig Greenberg and Governor Andy Beshear said Hankerson should face serious jail time. You'll remember, back in 2020, Taylor's case brought Louisvillians to the streets during the Black Lives Matter protest. Local activists in Louisville shared how they feel now.
We think something's bad, and that's the worst it can be, then something else pops in.
It's a real slap in the face. I feel like the hands of time have been turned back.
I am not at all shocked with this Department of Justice that we are currently under.
Hankerson's sentencing is set for 1:30. A Trump-appointed federal judge, Rebecca Grady Jennings, will determine what time, if any, Hankerson will serve. We now know the name of a teenager shot and killed Saturday night in the Chickasaw neighborhood. The coroner identified the victim as 16-year-old Arian Carr. Metro Police said just after 7 Saturday evening, officers found Carr dead with multiple gunshot wounds on South 45th Street, down the street from Chickasaw Park. LMPD does not have any suspects right now. The Jefferson County coroner has identified a woman involved in a deadly car crash in the Portland neighborhood as 28-year-old Alyssa Luckett. LMPD said the crash happened early Sunday morning on Bank Street, close to 20th Street. Police say Luckett was driving when she crashed into a parked tow truck and another parked car. LMPD is investigating. We now know the names of the 3 Lexington police officers who shot and killed Guy House. He's the man who killed 2 people at a church in Lexington on July 13th. Kentucky State Police says the 3 officers are Sergeant Ross Collins, a 13-year veteran, Officer Kyle Blankenship, a 5-year veteran, and Officer Simon Rankin, an 8-year veteran. KSP says they shot and killed 47-year-old Guy House after he shot a Kentucky State Police trooper during a traffic stop, then killed 2 women at Richmond Road Baptist Church. KSP says House also shot and injured 2 other men during that incident. All 3 officers are on administrative leave per Lexington police policy. The man convicted of killing 2 teen girls in Delphi, Indiana, has been transferred to a new prison out of state. On Friday, Richard Allen was moved from Indiana to Cleveland County, Oklahoma. That's just outside of Oklahoma City. In December of 2024, a judge sentenced Allen to 130 years in prison for killing Abby Williams and Libby German in February of 2017. As of right now, we do not know the reason he was moved. Well, summer storms are dumping rainwater all over Kentuckiana and triggering flash flood warnings around the region. Utica, Indiana was hit hard by storms earlier this year. Now people living there are concerned about what another flood event could do. In an interview with WHAS11, one person showed us several homes in her subdivision that were underwater 3 months ago when that Ohio River flooded. We're told last week's flash flood warnings alarmed some people because of what they saw as a lack of federal response last time. Utica Town Council President Steve Long says nearly 30 homes are vacant because they do not have permits to rebuild after severe damage in those April storms.
If the house had over 50% damage, it could be totaled out. And what do? I mean, you put money into something, they get it taken away from you. you're just throwing good money away from bad.
Long says those people don't have access to federal FEMA funding because a federal state of emergency was not declared for the April floods, just a state-level emergency. State officials are touring Utica later this month to assess the previous damage. Long hopes that will be the start to get families help. And we're going to get some weather now. With Matthew. Matthew, good afternoon to you. It's been, kind of a quiet morning. We had some sunshine this morning, but I can see behind you those clouds kind of looks like they're moving in.
Yeah, they are back again for this afternoon. We're seeing more clouds out there and expect to see more showers and storms by the afternoon and late evening hours of today. Take a look at some of those temperatures out there, starting to warm up into the lower 80s for the start of this morning. Places further up north into Seymour and Mitchell still into the upper 70s for this afternoon. Those feel like temperatures warming up as well. Mid 80s, lower 90s already as we head towards this afternoon. Looking at max HD radar, starting to see a few showers roll in just south of Louisville. We're bringing it down to Campbellville and Hodgensville, starting to see a few showers and storms roll in just into Campbellsville for this afternoon. No severe storms, but just a few showers and storms rolling in. Overall, though, still do have a flash flood watch or a flood watch in effect until 8 p.m. tonight. So we'll just likely see those roll in throughout the afternoon, evening hours, and it could cause some heavy downpours and a little bit of some flooding concerns by this afternoon. That hourly forecast brings you up into the mid to upper 80s by 3 p.m. Back into this evening, we'll still be into the lower 80s with more rain showers on the way. But by the overnight, we'll finally say goodbye to those rain showers and welcome in some nice dry conditions for the next several days. But in case of that, we are cranking up the heat this week. We're talking temperatures likely into the mid 90s, but how long will that stick around as we head towards the end of this week? I'll be timing that out coming up in just a few minutes. Back over to you, Gabriel.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Matthew. Mayor Craig Greenberg is speaking about what the city is doing to combat recent trends of youth violence in Louisville. Greenberg recently addressed community members at the weekly Bishop's Table Forum. He said overall violent crime continues to trend down in Louisville, although in the last few weeks we have seen several shootings involving teens, some as young as 13 years old. The mayor pushed for more community involvement to prevent more instances of youth violence going forward.
We have to keep going. This progress is nothing to celebrate. This progress we should just see as fuel, that what we're doing is starting to work, and so let's do more, let's do it better, and let's do it faster. Let's keep working together as a community, together, to continue this progress, because it's been a tough week here in Louisville.
Mayor Greenberg said overall shootings are down by around 30%. Since 2021, the number of shootings in the city has dropped by more than 60%. Well, good news for downtown Eminence, Kentucky. One of the longtime businesses destroyed in a large fire less than a month ago now says it secured a new location. Johnson Co. and Flooring co-owner Angela Johnson said the business is working to reopen within a couple of months. Johnson and Gigi Salon have been displaced ever since that fire. Johnson said there's no way the company is missing its Christmas at the North Pole event. The Eminence fire chief said an issue with the office refrigerator started that fire.